How does a man holding his newborn son with more money than he's ever had feel poorer than he did 3 years before? That was me. New Year's Eve 2012. And it took me 12 years to figure out what was actually going on. That night, I thought it was a math problem. I thought if I just earned a little more, got the next promotion, stayed the course, the numbers would eventually make sense. They didn't. And if you're somewhere between 45 and 61 years old, earning what looks like good money on paper, and you still feel like you're one bad month from the edge, what I'm about to show you isn't a budgeting tip. It's a diagnosis. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. The compliance trap. Here's the thing nobody said out loud when we were growing up. Gen X was handed a complete instruction manual. Go to school. Get the degree. Climb the ladder. Max the 401k. Trust the advisor. Stay the course. Work now, live later. And we followed it. Almost all of us. We did everything right. But there's a name for what we were actually doing. I call it the compliance trap. And it's not about being naive. It's about a psychological belief that got baked into us before we were old enough to question it. It's the belief that following the rules of a rigged game is the same thing as having a strategy. It isn't. The rules were written by institutions that needed us productive, compliant, and just comfortable enough to never leave. And for a while, it worked. The raises came. The titles came. The house came. But then something shifted. And most of us felt it in a single moment. A restructuring meeting, a 29-year-old VP describing your department as a cost-to-value ratio problem, a promotion that netted you $800 a month after taxes and convenience spending. That was the moment the compliance trap snapped shut. But here's what I want you to understand, and this is the part that took me years to figure out. The trap isn't financial. It's psychological. And until you see the psychology, the spreadsheets won't save you. I want to say something that one of the people I've worked with said to me, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since. I'm earning success money but living a survival life. Read that again slowly. Because that one sentence describes the Gen X condition better than anything I've ever read in a finance book. You look like you're winning. The salary says winner. The house says winner. The LinkedIn profile says winner. But on a Sunday morning, when you sit down and actually look at the numbers, your own numbers, something doesn't add up. The mortgage went up. The kids' tuition went up. The cost of simply existing went up. And that 4% raise you got last year? Gone before it landed. Millennials know they're behind. Boomers largely got out in time. But Gen X is the generation that looks like it's winning while quietly drowning. And the cruelest part of that is the isolation. You can't complain. You earn too much to complain. So you carry it alone. That's not a discipline problem. It's also not a spending problem. That is a systemic leak. And the leak is measured in thousands, not lattes. So if it's not a math problem, and it's not a discipline problem, what is it? I'm going to show you exactly what's happening inside the Gen X brain when it comes to money. And once you see the mechanism, you'll understand why every piece of conventional advice you've ever been given has been making it worse. There's a word that came up when I was working through my own story. And when I say it, I want you to notice if it lands somewhere in your chest. Hunted. Most of us started our careers feeling like builders. We were constructing something. A career. A life. A future for our families. We had momentum. We had a plan. But at some point, and most people can name the exact moment, the feeling changed. For me, it was staring at that bank account on New Year's Eve with a newborn in my arms, doing the math in my head. If the paycheck stopped tonight, how long before my children lost their bedrooms? 4 months. After a decade of doing everything right, I had built 120 days of oxygen. I wasn't building anymore. I was running. For you, it might have been that restructuring meeting. Or the moment you realized your 401k was a number you couldn't touch, couldn't control, and were terrified of losing. Or the Sunday morning conversation with your partner that started with, "We need to talk about the money." The psychology of Gen X making money isn't about greed. It's about that shift. From builder to prey, and until you name it, you keep running. faster and faster. On a treadmill that's been slowly speeding up for 25 years, I kept running for another 8 years. I read the books. I hired 3 different advisors. I maxed the 401k every year. I told myself the next promotion would fix the math. In 2019, I sat across from a wealth manager in a glass office and watched him draw a 4% safe withdrawal line on a piece of paper. He charged me $4,800 that year to draw that line. On the drive home, I realized I'd just paid a man almost $5,000 to tell me to keep doing the exact thing that wasn't working. That was the moment I stopped trying to win the game I'd been taught and started looking for the actual mechanism. A Sunday morning, 7:14 a.m. Sun coming through the kitchen window. There's a man I've worked with. I'll call him Mark. Mark was sitting at the table with a coffee that's gone cold, looking at a screen. The screen says $800,000. That's his 401k. And he stares at it for 40 minutes. He doesn't move a dollar. He doesn't open another tab. He doesn't make a call. He just stares. That number is the only thing in his life he can't touch. And it's also the only thing that's supposed to save him. This is the loop. Financial decisions aren't made with spreadsheets. They're made with fear and with what your brain learned to do in 1998 and never updated. When the stress hits, 3 things happen almost instantly. You freeze. You anchor to the number that feels like safety, even when it isn't. And you follow the herd, because the herd at least gives you cover when it all goes wrong. 40 minutes on a Sunday morning. Mark ran that loop every single weekend for 9 years. But here's where it gets interesting. Because there is a way out. And it doesn't require you to become a day trader, fire your advisor tomorrow, or learn a whole new system. It starts with one number. And I want to show you what that number did for Mark. Mark's $400. Mark was 54. Senior project manager in tech. $145,000 a year salary. The $800,000 was his retirement number, and he felt broke. Not broke like he couldn't pay his bills. Broke like he was trapped. Working 65-hour weeks. Taking calls during his daughter's football matches. Staring at a retirement projection that told him he had to keep doing exactly that until he was 67. On paper, he was winning. In reality, he was a ghost in his own house. We sat down together and ran his actual numbers. Not the numbers his advisor showed him. His numbers. What did he actually need to live? Not to impress anyone, not to maintain appearances, just to live. His real survival floor was $5,800 a month. Then we built out what I call a sovereign income stack. Not a strategy, a spreadsheet. 3 small income streams Mark already had access to but had never modeled as a system. Dividends from his brokerage, rent from a small paid-off property, a conservative monthly drawdown from the rest. He typed in his actual numbers. He stress-tested it 3 different ways. He didn't trust it until the 3rd pass. Total monthly income on his most conservative scenario, $6,200, $400. That's the number that changed everything. Not $800,000, not $145,000. $400 of monthly surplus on the most cautious model he could build proved he didn't need the job anymore. 18 months later, Mark walked into his boss's office and resigned. At 54, not 67. He deleted LinkedIn the same afternoon, but it wasn't clean. 6 weeks in, sitting in his kitchen at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday with nowhere to be, he didn't know who he was without the meetings. His wife asked him twice that month if he was sure. He'd built a financial floor and walked off the cliff anyway. And for a while, the new ground felt strange under his feet. 3 months later, his daughter asked him to drive her to football practice on a Tuesday afternoon. He said yes. That was the moment he knew. He didn't get richer on paper. He got his life back. But he had to put down the identity that came with the title to pick it up. And the reason it worked wasn't the spreadsheet. It's that he built it himself. That shift, from passenger to architect, is the only one that matters. You don't want to be rich. I know that. You want to exhale. You want the morning you send a 1-sentence resignation email and never open LinkedIn again. You want to sit at the Thanksgiving table knowing your family's future is firewalled. From inflation, from restructuring, from whatever the economy decides to do next. You want to walk away from a toxic boss tomorrow without checking your bank balance first. That's not a financial goal. That's a dignity goal. And It's exactly what I was chasing on New Year's Eve 2012, holding my son, staring at that bank account. I didn't want more money. I wanted to stop being a replaceable part in a machine that didn't care if I lived or died. I'll tell you what changed for me. A Tuesday afternoon last spring, I closed my laptop at 2 p.m. and walked to pick my son up from school. He's 14 now. We took the long way home. Nothing collapsed while I was gone. Nobody noticed. That was the moment I knew it had worked. Gen X didn't fail the system. The system ran out of time to keep its promise. And the moment you stop trying to fix your relationship with something that was never loyal to you, that's when the fog lifts. Not because the numbers changed, because you changed. You stopped being a role and remembered who you actually are. Your next step. Here's what I want you to do right now. Go to financescoops.com. Grab the free Money Reset Guide. 7 Truths That Reframe Everything. Read it tonight. It takes 15 minutes. And if you want to go further, if you want to run your own numbers the way Mark did, the complete finance bundle is there. 11 tools. One-time purchase. Yours forever. The link is in the description. You've spent 25 years building someone else's system. It's time to build your own. Now that you know the psychology keeping you stuck, there's one more piece you need to understand. What stress actually does to your financial decisions at a brain level. Because that's where the real leak is. Check out this video where I break down the 6 mechanisms your brain runs every time money stress hits, and why none of it is a discipline problem. I'll see you there.